Yes, Junaid. Sorry for the connectivity issues. I just face internet issue problem. So we just discussed the organization and job factors, and if the displays and controls, if the job roles responsibilities are provided in proper manners, if there are appropriate controls are adopted in the workplace in the job, means they will take or they will lead to a good safety behavior. If in the opposite, it will take to a bad safety behaviors. And the plans and procedures, if the appropriate procedures are developed and communicated and implemented with the employees in the workplace, they will lead to a positive safety related behavior. Now we are going to the individuals. What are the individual factors? Individual factors are attitude, competence, motivation, and risk perception. Attitude is the person's behavior, the personal behavior, like how you behave for safety, how a person's point of view or way of looking at something, how they think and feel about it. Like one person, how he think about the risk, or how he think about the hazards, or how he think about the safety of himself and the safety of the others. That is attitude, the behavior, the mindset of the peoples. And then next is the competence. Okay, uh, what is attitude? Also there is a motivation also influence the attitude of the people. If he was motivated to do good, to behave safe, he will start taking care of that. Like we say, courage to care or duty of care. Like when we are passing in our work site, we see someone doing unsafe act, we just stop him, talk to him politely, consult with him, talk to him, like why you are doing that when the same work can be done in safe manners. Like this way, if you motivate him to do good, he will start doing good. And the competence, what is the competence? Competence is the, we already discussed the knowledge, ability, experience, and the trainings of how much he have. That also influence his safety related behaviors. And how we can change the attitudes. Education and training, that is the perfect and the first thing. If we give adequate trainings, if we educate them and provide trainings, then they will change. It will help to change their attitude. It will help to bring the attitude in positive manners. And high impact intervention, like that is some type of therapy. If they are not listening, so maybe they need some uh, consultation, they need some mental checkups, or they need a session with psychologist so that they can start doing or adopting the good attitude. Then the next is the enforcement. If still they are not following the safety standards, procedures, if still the attitude is bad for health and safety, then enforcement action can be taken, that like a disciplinary action, warning notice, deduction of salary, or maybe removal from the job if he still continue to doing the unsafe act, or he still having the same negative attitude for health and safety. Consultation is also a process where we call the person who is violating or who he is having a bad attitude for safety. We call him, yes gentlemen, come tell us why you are doing that. Maybe he have some family related issues, maybe he have some mental health, maybe he have more
कंसल्टेशन को रिपीट
sorry.
कर दीजिए फिर कंसल्टेशन को रिपीट कर दें एंड
Yeah, I'm just,
प्लीज
yeah,
कुछ
consultation.
छूट
Yeah, yeah, consultation is if someone is doing wrong, doing bad things, or doing violations, or someone's attitude for health and safety is bad. What we have to do, we can call them, we can sit with them, we can have a meeting with them. Then we will ask, what is the problem of doing these wrong things? Why you did this? What is the problem? Maybe he have some family issues, maybe he have some work related stress, maybe he is tired, maybe he is not getting his salary on time, or some other external issues which make his attitude bad. That is a consultation, like two-way communication, asking him, asking the problem, then suggesting the solutions for these problems. That is known as consultation. It's a two-way discussion where you ask and then you reply, and then you ask more and more questions to find out or to figure out the issues which are being faced. What is competence? As here, competence we already studied yesterday, combination of knowledge, ability, training, and experience. A person is considered as competent when he have all these four things. Okay, and how competent person isn't just one who is trained. A person who just get a training, it's not competent. He need to have knowledge, he need to have ability, and he need to have experience about the work. And the last thing is the perception of risk. Perceptions means how someone feels about looking on an object. For example, two peoples are driving on the same road in a different vehicles, and one person he is driving in 100 kilometers per hour while the other is driving at 140. Why? Both persons have different perception. The person who is driving, perception means their sense, their mental awareness about the risk, like how they see, how they find it. The person who is going on 140, his perception is very poor. He is thinking that it's okay, if something happened I can control, but it's not. That's what we do in our mental health. That's what we do, or how we do when we see something hazardous or when we see something life threatening. I will explain you in different example as well. So person's perception or the perception of risk depends on his sight, how he see, hearing capacity, smell, taste, touch. For example, I am working in an oil and gas project where there is chances of H2S leakage, hydrogen gas leakage, potential of H2S leakage is there. We are continuously monitoring it with the gas monitoring devices. H2S monitoring is ongoing every time, everywhere. There are sensors available, but still it can be managed with the smell. When I feel a smell, maybe I ignore, or maybe I become alert and vigilant. Yes, there is a smell. Let's check the gas again. Check with the colleagues, check with the supervisor, check with the manager. Yes, manager, or yes, the safety personals or the responsible person. I feel some smell. That is the perception. How we see, how we find, and how we act. That leads to a good safety attitude or a bad safety attitude if we just smell and ignore. Yeah, there is a smell, no problem. If something happened, someone will let me know. Or there may be an alarm. Alarm will ring if something happened. That's that's perception. That's how we act when we feel, we touch, we taste, or we hear something, how we act. That is the perception of risk. Perception activity, one of the following. Okay, here is the column, one table provided. Now you have to count that how many squares are there in this table. This is your assignment. You have to count and let me know by tomorrow, like how many squares are there in this column. Some people will find like 16, some will say it's 32, some will say it's 64, some will say only 9. So you need to find out how many squares are there in this table. Okay. Now again,
सर ये एग्जाम में पूछा था
no,
ये
no, no.
स्पेस का जो आपने
This is
बताया
not coming like as it is in exam. No, it's not. It's just for your practice and for the clearance. So what are the factors?
सर
Yeah,
पहले
change
मुझे
your
पता था थोड़ा सा सर मुझे ओरिजिनल थोड़ा सा मतलब कि इसको एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए वो इस तरह
ओके।
स्टेप
परसेप्शन वो
स्टडी
होती है कि
तो
आप
क्लियर हो
रिस्क, परसेप्शन वो होती है कि आप एक रिस्क को किस तरह, आप एक चीज को देखते हैं और आप उसके रिस्क को किस तरह एनालाइज करते हैं और फिर आप किस तरह एक्ट करते हैं। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि मैं एक प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करता हूं जहां पे ऑयल एंड गैस है, रिफाइनरी है, गैस प्लांट है। H2S रिलीज जो है ना, गैसेस का, हैजरस गैसेस के रिलीज का ऑप्शन जो या हैजर्ड है, वो यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल मौजूद होता है हर टाइम। तो क्या होगा, गैस डिटेक्टर्स अवेलेबल हैं, सेंसर्स अवेलेबल हैं। इन केस गैस लीकेज, जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन है वो अलार्म रेज करेंगे। ये एक कॉमन प्रोसीजर है। अब एक बंदा, उसने गैस की स्मेल फील की, उसे फील हुआ कि कोई स्मेल आ रही है। उसकी जो सेंस है स्मेल करने की वो बहुत अच्छी है, मेरी निस्बत उसकी बहुत अच्छी है, तो वो जल्दी स्मेल को फील करेगा। उसको फील करने के बाद वो एक्ट करेगा। ठीक है। अगर तो वो उसको फील करने के बाद पॉजिटिव एक्ट करता है, लाइक वो अपने कोलीग से डिस्कस करता है, मैनेजर को कॉल करता है, सुपरवाइजर से कम्युनिकेट करता है, या जो भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन है उससे कम्युनिकेट करता है कि मैंने ये स्मेल फील किया है, प्लीज इसको कंफर्म कीजिए क्या कोई गैस रिलीज हुई है, कोई गैस लीकेज है या नहीं। अगर तो वो ऐसा कर रहा है तो मीन्स उसकी जो परसेप्शन है या उसका बिहेवियर है वो पॉजिटिव है टुवर्ड्स सेफ्टी। अगर वो जस्ट फील करता है नो प्रॉब्लम, स्मेल आई है ना, कुछ नहीं होता, अगर कुछ हुआ तो अलार्म बजेगा, अगर कुछ हुआ तो सुपरवाइजर जो है वो मुझे बताएगा, अगर कुछ हुआ तो रिस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन जो है वो सबको अलर्ट करेगा, अगर वो इग्नोर कर देता है तो वो एक नेगेटिव कल्चर है। और जो परसेप्शन होती है ये हर बंदे की मुख्तलिफ होती है। जैसे ये एक टेबल बना हुआ है, इस टेबल में कुछ लोगों को नजर आएगा कि शायद 6 या 10 या 12 कॉलम है, टेबल स्क्वेयर है, स्क्वेयर है, कुछ को लगेगा कि इसमें 32 है, कुछ को लगेगा इसमें 16 है, कुछ को लगेगा इसमें 64 है। तो ये आपकी असाइनमेंट है कि आपने काउंट करनी है कि इसमें कितने स्क्वेयर आपको नजर आते हैं, ठीक है। और जो
राइट सर।
परसेप्शन है ये डिपेंड करती है और ये अफेक्ट होती है इन चीजों से। अगर बंदा बीमार है, फॉर एग्जांपल किसी को फ्लू है या कफ है, या स्पेशली फ्लू है, या समवन इज फीलिंग सिक, not feeling healthy, is having flu, he cannot smell properly. If he is stressed, like he have the stress of the work, his mind is just focused in his activities and he cannot think what is happening around. Maybe there is alarm ringing, maybe there is uh, an indication of the gas release, but he will not focus on that. He is just thinking that it's okay. He's just thinking that he's not thinking anything other than the work. Like he is stressed, he is tired, he is fatigued. Fatigue means tired from the work. Or maybe the person, he is under influence of drugs. Yeah, he consumes some alcohol and then he is senseless. He cannot smell, he cannot hear, he cannot see properly. His visibility becomes low. If these are the things which affect the perception of the any person. So the previous experience and educations also have impact on that. Like one person, he is already working in an oil and gas sector and he know what happened, how is the smell of gas. He is aware already, he have experience, and because he know the consequences also because of his experience. So if he feel even small smell, he will act properly, he will act very vigilant, he will be very alert, and he will communicate with all the members in the organization, or he will communicate with the responsible person so that he can share it with everyone. Then training and education, it also, of course, trainings have effect. If adequate trainings are provided, so people's perception or the person's perception will be improved. How can workers hazard perception can be improved? कैसे improve हो सकती है? ये चीजें हैं, ये सब चीजें अच्छे में होनी चाहिए। ड्रग्स या अल्कोहल्स का इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं होना चाहिए, उनके पास एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए, उनके पास ट्रेनिंग होनी चाहिए। और नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में देखते हैं, improving hazards perception. Understand why hazards are not noticed by talking to workers. Okay, आप you must talk with the workers. You can ask them that you can ask the question why you didn't notice this hazard. Maybe they are not aware. Maybe they don't have knowledge about that. So you need to raise the awareness and campaigns. You need to do the on-spot discussions. You need to highlight the hazards with the signages or with the pictures. In the workplace, you need to ensure that adequate lighting is available, like people can see. The good visibility is required, then it will improve their perception, reduce the distractions, e.g. noise. Yeah, if there is more noise, maybe they can neglect or they cannot hear the alarm, they cannot hear the noise of any unwanted event. So the other noises need to be controlled, avoid excessive fatigue. Yeah, they should not be tired, more tired. Like there is a level up to which a person can accept the fatigue or he can manage the fatigue. But if it's exceeding that limit, he cannot. He will be unconscious, he will be stressed, he will not be having good focus on his workplace and about the hazards in the workplace. So these are the things which can improve the perception of the persons. Here we have quiz. What are the key factors influence workers' behavior? We just discussed. What is competence? We discussed 2 times, today and yesterday. How can organizations, how can an organization indifferently motivate people to behave unsafely? Organization लोगों को unsafe behave करने पे कैसे motivate करती है? This is a very good question. If the management is not committed, if there is no safety culture, if there is bad safety environment, हमने देखा है ना, we have just read the organizational factors towards safety attitudes. If the organizational factors are good, plans and procedures are there, risk assessments, communications are there, consultation is there, then they will promote good. If it's opposite, it means they are motivating to behave unsafely. If there is no management commitment, no written procedures, no allocation of resources, means poor, poor procedures or poor workplace, and it will motivate them to behave unsafely. Suggest reasons why two peoples may perceive hazards differently. Yes, this is the person's perception. If they are under influence of drugs, they will perceive indifferent. If they don't have education, if they don't have training, if they don't have experience in the similar task in the past, so their perception will be different. Now, improving health and safety behavior. How we can improve health and safety behavior? At the first, it needs management commitment and leadership. If the management, the top management, the senior management is committed, they are leading by example, they are providing adequate resources or the required resources, they can improve. Okay, senior management provides leadership and motivation, need clear policy, priorities, and targets. If they set the OHS policy and they set the targets and they make communicate with anyone, they make it very clear for everyone, it will help in improving the safety behaviors. Okay, required visible leadership. Visible leadership means management commitment. What the employees see in their management, in their managers or directors, the same they will follow. It's very simple example in our families or in the houses. The kids are doing the same what they see, what they look in their family, with their elder brothers, with their parents. If they see that they all are doing some activity, doing exercise every day in the morning, the kids will start doing. If they see that the parents or the elders are just sleeping, laying in the bed full day, they will start doing that. That's how visible leadership works. Okay, group activity. In the group discussion, leaders that you have worked with. अब आपको देखना है कि आपने जिन लोगों के साथ काम किया था, आपने उनके बिहेवियर को कैसा पाया, आपने उनके बिहेवियर से गुड वाइब्स ली हैं या बैड वाइब्स ली हैं, उनकी जो विजिबिलिटी थी वो कैसी थी, और हाउ दे एक्ट, हाउ दे लीड बाय एग्जांपल. From there, think about what managers can do to demonstrate their commitment to health and safety. आपको देखना है कि आपका मैनेजर हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी को प्रमोट करने के लिए क्या कर सकता है, उसको कैसे एक्ट करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, he must not smoke in the offices. He must not smoke at prohibited area. He must smoke only if he is a smoker. He must go to smoking only in the smoking area. If the manager is doing that, believe me, the full organization's employees will do that. If manager is following the rules, the employees under him will also follow the rules. That's how he can lead. So visible commitment, we just discuss his part, how he act, how he prioritizes safety, how he lead by example. That is the visible commitment, like what people see from the manager. Next is the disciplinary procedures. When we are done with the consultations, when educations, trainings provided, adequate resources are provided, then it's the time to take disciplinary actions. Disciplinary actions are enforcement notices, warning letters, deduction of salary, deduction of overtime, or maybe removal, suspension, or removal from the job. If a person continuously ignore the safety standards.
सर
Yes.
सर जो अभी आपने डिसिप्लिनरी प्रोसीजर्स पे जो भी आप पॉइंट्स बता रहे हैं, अगर एग्जाम में हम इससे इन पॉइंट्स को कोट कर देते हैं, वो भी सर मतलब कि वैलिड होंगे?
Yes, yes, of course. These are the valid points. You can quote these points in the exam. You can write that.
क्योंकि सर आप जो पॉइंट्स आप बता रहे हैं मतलब कि उनको मैं एक रजिस्टर के ऊपर नोट करते जा रहा हूँ मतलब कि
जी आप नोट
अकॉर्डिंगली
कर
मतलब कि
सकते हैं,
रिस्पेक्टिवली।
आप यस यू कैन नोट, यू कैन सी द रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ द lecture, you can use it, you can take any data from the lectures, from the slides, or from the course notebook. You can take any data and you can quote that, but again do not copy and paste, and you have to relate it with the scenario.
राइट।
Yeah.
राइट सर, मतलब सर जो भी आपने पॉइंट्स बताए हैं तो वो तो सर मतलब कि अगर सिनेरियो में से मतलब कि हम इसको उसके साथ इंटरलिंक करते हैं,
Yes.
इंटरकनेक्टेड करते हैं, तो सर वो तो फिर पेस या प्लेजरिज्म नहीं होगा।
No, 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 that will not be a plagiarism. You can relate them with the scenario. So
थैंक यू
this
सर।
is all about, yeah, this is all about disciplinary procedures. To whom or who would you discipline? किसको सजा देनी चाहिए या किसके खिलाफ डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन लेना चाहिए? A supervisor who orders the team to cut corners to save time. Okay, if a team of 6 people working under supervisor X, and supervisor told them just do the excavation, lay the pipes, and no need to put the barriers, then disciplinary action should be against the supervisor, not the workers, because workers are the blue collar workers. They are just following the instructions of the supervisor. There's no doubt they have the right to say no, but still, if they are under influence, if they are scared from losing the job, or if they are scared from getting suspended, they just follow him. That yes, supervisor said that if we didn't follow, maybe he will release us from the job, maybe he will kick us off from the workplace, maybe he cut our overtime, maybe he deduct the salary, like that. If they are under influence, so the disciplinary action should be taken against the person who is giving the wrong orders. A reckless forklift truck driver, एक बंदा जो फोकलिफ्ट चला रहा है या ट्रक चला रहा है या कोई भी इक्विपमेंट ऑपरेट कर रहा है, अगर वो रैकलेस है, ही इज नॉट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ एनीथिंग अराउंड, disciplinary action can be taken against him. A, a persistent prankster, someone doing the horseplay in the workplace, doing the pranks with the people, doing the pranks in the workplace, with the colleagues, disciplinary action should be taken against him. An office worker who repeatedly fails to wear PPE when in the factory area. एक ऑफिस का बंदा है, वो फैक्ट्री एरिया में जाता है और बार बार सेफ्टी शूज को या रिक्वायर्ड पीपीई को पहनने को इग्नोर कर देता है, वो नहीं पहनता है डेलिबरेटली, तो उसके खिलाफ एक्शन लिया जा सकता है. लाइक दिस, दीज आर सम एग्जांपल्स, यू कैन ऐड हाउ मेनी यू वांट. Like the person who is not following the safety by himself, he is deserving a safety enforcement notice or disciplinary action. Okay, what is the role of competent staff? What is the competent staff? Competence we already study in very detail. If they have knowledge, ability, training, and experience, if there are competent managers, they will understand the implementations of their decisions on health and safety. Often a weakness, competent staff enables jobs to be done safely. या अगर वो competent लोग हैं, managers या directors या top management वो competent हैं, तो if they are competent, they have idea, they have awareness about the risk, they are aware about the legal requirements, so they will follow the standards. But if they are not competent, it will go wrong and it will go opposite of that. They will not take care. Their perception of the risk is low. They don't have experience. They don't know the consequences. If something gone wrong, how much they will suffer or how much the organization will suffer. They are not aware about that. Then results will be negative. Now it's communication. How and what are the types of communications and how the communications happen. I will explain you other than the slides. I will just explain and then we will jump the slides over there. Communication is sharing the data with the colleagues, internal and external. Like two types, internal and external. Internal communication within the organization, external outside of the organization with other stakeholders, with client, with authorities, for example, with municipality or with police or with the health authorities, hospitals, that is external. So there are major three types of communication. One is verbal, written, and graphic. Verbal communication, when we talk, we speak, we we conduct a meeting and we talk in a mic, a toolbox talk we conducted in the site, or we conduct an on-spot discussion. We talk only verbal. We tell them that these are the 5 things you need to take care, 1 2 3 4 5, you need to take care of that. This is verbal communication. Written is something which is written and communicated, shared through email, through WhatsApp, or placed in the notice board. That is written communication, which have a written shape. Okay, what is graphic? We put signages, we put pictures, no smoking, flammable materials, required PPE signages, or drink more water. We put water cooler, igloos, or ORS if it's a summer or hot weather. That is a graphic communication. The example is the road signages, like 20 means 20 is the road speed limit, or 40 is the road speed limit, or an arrow to left means the road is going to the left, or a roundabout signages means there is a roundabout. That is graphic communication. Okay, now we will discuss the merits and demerits, or the limitations of the verbal. The limitations of the verbal communication is language barrier. Maybe a person is talking in Arabic and the listeners or the audience, they are not aware about this language. Maybe he is using jargon. So for example, I just say, can you please follow the WAH protocol? What is WAH? They don't know. The people don't know. Yeah, it's work at height. Maybe I use, or the person who is speaking, the speaker, he use some jargons, some words like that, terms, acronyms, which peoples are not aware. So that is the limitation or demerit of verbal communication. Strong accent. Yes, if your language accent is very strong, or you are extreme in one language and you cannot able to deliver your message properly to the audience, or you are able but audience is not able to get the appropriate meanings from your communication, from your words, that is a demerit. Background noise, for example, currently we are talking, I am giving a lecture to you, and there is a noise behind me, there is a machines are working, maybe you cannot hear me properly, maybe you cannot understand what I said exactly, maybe you miss some of the words from my sentences. That is the background noise. Poor hearing, maybe the audience, they don't have good hearing level, their hearing is poor, so they cannot receive your message properly. Ambiguity, like you, the speaker, he didn't make clear, he just said something which is meaningless or which is senseless, and there is no clear communication. That is a demerit. Misinformation, he didn't give appropriate information. No record, verbal communication, no record unless it was recorded in a shape of a video or audio. And a poor quality, maybe on telephone, same we face today, the poor quality of internet. When I am telling you something and you cannot understand on the call because of the poor internet, that is a demerit. And the merit is it's personal. You can talk quickly, you can talk direct. Person is sitting in front of you, you can tell him, and then you can assess if he receive your message or no. And it can, you can check his understanding by his body language, by his face expressions, and he can ask you the question exactly on the same time. Yes, I didn't understand, or the point X you have raised, I'm not agree on that. What if we can do it in other way? That is the more safe way. Like this, it can share, it can be a consultation. These are the merits of verbal communication. Now, written communication, it's indirect. Like, unlike the verbal communication, the you are talking directly with the person, but written you just write and send it by email or by a memo or by a letter or by a WhatsApp group. They cannot ask you because it's just written. If they want to ask, they need to write email back to you, then they will ask their question, so which is not happening. And maybe I use the same words when I'm writing that WAH, or I just said CS entry. They don't know what is CS entry. They are not clear on that, which means confined space entry. Yeah, but maybe they are not aware on that. Same, maybe they will not read, maybe they are late to read, maybe they don't have internet, they don't have signals or connectivity, so your message will not be conveyed to them. There's no immediate feedback. Unlike verbal communication, I said 3 points, the speaker or the listener is not agree with the point number 2, he can give feedback immediately. If he didn't understand, he can ask me same time. But in the written communication, this will not happen. So the merits are it have record, permanent record. When you send something by email or by letter or by memo, it have record, it have evidence, it have references. It can be written carefully. If the reader or the receiver of the written communication, he read it carefully and he get all the meanings properly, that is the merit or the best thing. Wide distribution, relatively cheap. Yes, wide distribution is like you can, for example, health and safety policy. It need to be written. Why written? We discussed very briefly yesterday. Let's the organization or the employer, he ask or he advise the team in the project that place the policy in each notice board, in each rest area, in each office area, or in the entrance of the project site. So what will happen? Everyone will read. It will be a very wide communication. There is no restriction. It's placed a paper, everyone can come and read. So this is the merit of communication. Graphic communication is the pictorial diagram. It's very simple, it's easy to understand, but it's expensive. And on the other side, it's eye-catching. When we see good or attractive or colorful signages, yeah, we just look on that. Same, the road users is the best example. They are going on the road and they are reaching to their destinations by reading the road signages. It's jargon free because there is no acronyms, there is no abbreviations, there is no difficult words in this one. It's only picture, it's arrows, it's signs. So, but the demerits is you cannot ask, you cannot question, you cannot give feedback. These are the merits and demerits of graphic communication. It's very simple. It's not coming to write in the exam that you write the merits and demerits of graphic communications. No, it's not, but you need to understand because you have to answer the exam or you have to answer the questions. And so broadcasting meeting methods, notice boards, you can put something in the notice board, you share with the in the TBT, you share in the memos and emails. These are the methods of broadcasting or methods of sharing the information or methods of communication. Cooperation and consultation. Okay, often a legal requirement to consult with workers. Yes, this is a legal requirement and this is a standard requirement that workplace hazards, risks, or all the safety related matters need to be consulted with the workers. This consultation can be done in the meetings, can be done in the on-site discussions, can be done through emails or memos, can be done through surveys. And this is very beneficial. Managers will get the information and the things which are not being managed in the workplace. So methods of consultation: direct, like one-to-one discussion through worker representative like supervisor. They can discuss with the supervisor. Supervisor can come and he can represent all the workers in the site. For example, they are facing the difficulty in the welfare facilities. So they will inform their supervisor and supervisor can come on behalf of the workers and he can address the issue to the management. That is a method of consultation. What are the typical issues? Typical issues that people are mostly scared, they are thinking, or they are shy, or they are thinking that if we ask, maybe it will go wrong, maybe someone finger on us. And what are the typical issues to consult? If there is a new changes in technology, new changes in the plan or the procedures in the health and safety, new material scheme. So these things need to be consulted with the workers. For example, it's a warehouse where a worker is used to clean the floor with the cleaning substances and management decided to change with the new substances, new type of substances. So it need to be consulted with the worker and a training or a proper information need to be given to him that how you have to use this substance or this material. Okay, cooperation and consultation, it's a negative and safety, positive culture. The negative culture is informing and giving directions. If a supervisor or manager or a co-worker is just giving instruction and not taking the feedback, it's a negative culture. Like supervisor came and he asked the workers, okay, shift these bundle of bricks to the other area, and he didn't tell them which equipment they will use, how much time they have, who will supervise them, where is the permit, where is the permit receiver, what are the welfare facilities in this area and that area, what is the mechanical aid they can use. Like he just gave directions and left. That is a negative culture. The positive is he came and he discussed with them, yes, this is a task. The task is we need to shift this material to place X. What do you think, guys? How we can? As per my suggestion, you can load it here and unload there by using the forklift, by using the crane, by using whatever mechanical equipments or mechanical aid they have according to the task. That is a positive culture, and it's also involvement of the peoples in the task. The trainings, what are the trainings? Trainings is the planned formal process of acquiring and practicing knowledge and skills in a relatively safe environment. Yes, एक ऐसा safe environment और एक ऐसी practice है जिसमें knowledge और skills based knowledge जो है वो लोगों को दिया जाता है. उनको बताया जाता है कि आप ये काम करने जा रहे हैं, इस काम में ये हैजर्ड्स हैं, ये कंट्रोल मेजर्स अपने पास है. अगर कुछ खराब हो जाए, if something gone wrong, what you have to do? That is a part of training. That how we train them on performing the job in safe manners. Training is a component of competence. Training, ability, knowledge, and experience. So if the person he don't have training, he cannot be competent. This is training only, and dramatic effect of safety related behavior. Yes, training have a very good effect. If you continuously give training to the workers, they will start working safely. They will start, they will put safety in their behaviors, and their attitude towards safety will become good and better than before. Training helps worker to understand hazard and risk. If the training is given, they will be able to know what are the risks and hazards in the workplace, what are the rules and what are the precautions, what are the emergency procedures, what are the limitations and restrictions. This all comes through the trainings. So trainings are very, very important. Training opportunities, when do you need a training? Okay, when we need to have a training, we need to have training when any person join a new employee coming in the organization, he need to be given induction training. If there is a changes in the job change training need to be given, like new hazards are there in the workplace. If there is a process change, if there is a change in technology, new machines came, the legislation change, the manpower or new employees entered in the workplace, or and a serious accident happened in the workplace. So these are the opportunities when we need to train the workers. What are the training need analysis? Training need analysis is an analysis in where we find like which group of the employees need which training. For example, the persons who are working at height, their role is only to work at height. So no need to give them confined space training, no need to give them excavation training, no need to give them hot work or welding training. So this is training need analysis. This is also a participation in the project planning. Like when we go through or we review the planning of the project, we come to know that the project is going to be on work at height, or people are going to start the work at height activities in the month of March. So as a organization or as a planner or as a safety personnel team or responsible team, we will start the training for work at height ahead from the work, ahead from the actual activity, so that people are already aware, they already have adequate knowledge of that, and the risk can be reduced. So post-training activities, what are the post-training activities are when we finish the training, we need to check the understanding of the peoples. If they have any doubt, we can ask them to complete a survey. We can check if the incidents or the accidents are reduced, like is the training is fruitful or no. If after training still the behavior is same, accidents is same, awareness is not increased, means the training is not fruitful or not beneficial. So these are the post-training activities, like we have to analyze or we have to evaluate the trainings. Is it working well or no? If not, then we need to check what are the problems, maybe language barriers, maybe the peoples are not get adequate training hours, maybe the training environment is not good, maybe the trainer is not good, he is not able to deliver his message. So these are the post-training activities. And end of okay, when a new employee is coming, we need to tell him what are the topics he need to be aware. He need to be aware about health and safety policy, where are the first aid facilities provided, what are the welfare facilities, where he can move, which are the prohibited area, what are the PPEs or personal protective equipments required, which type of permits required in the workplace to perform their job, and which type of risk assessments they have, and it need to be communicated. These are the parts of induction training. So here is the end of section quiz. How can directors, managers demonstrate their commitment? We discussed it briefly already. They need to lead by example.